Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Tool to Play presents Still Got Game with Derek D. Smooth Nolan and Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
If you'd like to sponsor Still Got Game, email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. Hey now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Still Got Game, episode 310. Still Got Game is the official podcast of tooltoplay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
What is going on, Joel Dude I Rock Albert, my friend?
Well, we've switched our day. We are now on Thursdays in order to keep our man in charge working.
Yes, our producer extraordinaire.
That's right.
Hitman. We need
He's
him.
still around. He's still here. In fact, if
can't-
he wasn't here, this would be a lot shittier. So you'd already know that.
Yeah, we can't do it without him. Although, today he made me nervous 2 hours before the show. Guys, my internet's down. No, forget that. It's all cool. But
I took that as like the air quotes internet's down. I was like, oh, the internet's down. As in you don't want to do the show.
he's like, well, I'll keep an eye on it because it could be spotty. No, bullshit is going to be spotty. Living spotty is his dedication to the new Thursday night time slot. But
I think he had like a moral conflict there. He said it and he's like, if they see me on Destiny during the show, they're going to know that I'm fucking lying.
that's the
so then he
beauty
had
of
to come
always on games.
Oh, I love it. It's fantastic. You can't get away with it. You have to sit around do nothing all night, and then you'd be like, "Why am I doing nothing all night? I might as well be doing the
Might as well
podcast."
produce a show.
Right? Exactly. So he's here, and we're here Thursday nights. If you're listening to this at a later time, same time, so 8 Central, 9 Eastern, and we're still here.
That's absolutely the wrong time. It is. We are on at 8 Eastern,
Oh,
7
yeah.
Central. Like none of those times.
Hour difference. Totally different.
You didn't even say your time correctly. You
Right.
could see your time there, and you still were off by an hour or two.
Yeah.
But yes,
No,
so
no.
this is the new time slot, and we'll be rocking this Thursday nights, and we'll see how this goes, and hopefully we'll get some viewers and some people that were our Monday night live stream viewers to come on over here and join us.
Yeah.
But, I'm sure it'll take some time. People have to reorganize their schedules, change up, like move the kids' soccer night. Be like, I need a different team for soccer because I cannot possibly do Thursday nights now. And yeah, you can't just change that in a week. We only gave them a week's notice. So.
Yeah, so hopefully it'll take some time, but yes, we have a new time. We'll be here live. I don't think when do you usually release the show? Is it on Wednesday?
Yeah, normally when we would record on Mondays, the show would come out in audio and video form on Wednesdays. So I'm going to try to do my best to get it out by the end of the day on Fridays now.
Wow. I thought you were
Yes.
going to hit Monday of next week. That's
Well, I could still hit Monday. Monday's easy, but
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can do it in one work day. If not, then it will we'll carry over to Mondays. But I guess we'll know next week what the actual value was. So next week, when I tell people what day it'll be on iTunes and YouTube, that'll be more accurate. But
Yeah.
right now, I'm hoping for tomorrow, but we'll see what happens.
all right.
All right, Jay. Well, let's hop right over to feedback from last week's show. Remember, if you want to leave us a voicemail, it will cut you off after a minute. Saxon comments. Caught your show last week for the very first time, and now I'm hooked on it. Thursday nights are actually better for me, so I approve of the new time.
Well, hopefully he's here. I don't think he's here
Yeah.
right now. So
Yeah.
you're kind of fucking up, Saxon.
Yeah, Saxon, easy to say, but hard
Right,
to do.
hard to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely don't see you here, Saxon. But hopefully you show up before the end of the show. Maybe you're just confused on the times, and who knows? But we're glad that Thursday nights are better for you. And,
Yeah.
and hopefully we can get the viewership up.
Yep.
All right, Zen Mike comments. Great show, guys. Keep it up. Or Zen Mick or Zen Mike.
Zen Mick. I'll go with Zen Mick.
Yes. Well, thanks. Well, it is a great show, and we'll try to keep it up.
And we keep it up. I mean, it's been a long, long time. So clearly we're not giving up. That's one thing.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
No one's giving up. So
Even if it was a train wreck, we would still
Yeah.
keep rolling with it. Because at this point, we don't know any better.
we don't know. We don't know.
Yes. All right, and last but not least, Bindle comments. Currently, I'm a dual format lover of your show. I listen to the podcast in my car, but also try to watch the YouTube version every week. Mondays were a conflict for me, but this week I think I'm going to be a 3-format girl. Thanks for doing what you guys do. Well, you're welcome.
Hopefully you come watch the show.
Yes.
we don't mind. I would love to get some feedback though about when the audio should be released. And part of me thinks like if you can get it on Friday, that's great. But some people love that Monday sort of like ease into the week by hearing our sexy, smooth voices anyway. So I don't know.
This is true. So your bonus would be you get it before the weekend if you watch it live, or you start your week off with us, or you know what? You by the time even if you come Thursday night and watch us live, by the time Monday comes around, you've forgotten it all. It's like a new show.
Right. It's a refresh.
Yes.
Yes, and leads into that next Friday that's coming up for the live show. So there you go.
Exactly. Well, the Thursday for the live show. Let's not confuse
Let's not totally
things.
fuck
Oh my
everyone
god.
No one's gonna know when this show happens. There's so many days now and times that are like being thrown out that
almost none were accurate.
It's potentially every day of the week, I think is what I want to leave on that note. Is it could be any day. You don't know. So you might as well come and watch for every day.
Yeah, might as well. You would hate to miss it.
Exactly.
All right. Well, if any of you have awesome feedback like these fine folks, give us a call, 773-527-2961, or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. And in site-related news, we've got, obviously, really quick, we got the Twitch team page, twitch.tv/team/tooltoplay. I've been doing some more streaming there. I know I've seen other people from our streaming crew doing some stuff there. Jay, I haven't seen you streaming any PC games there. Maybe you should.
I was thinking about streaming my raid tonight. I don't know if I'll do it or not because I have to set up my rig for that. But I think I will probably do that, especially now that this show is ending on the night that I do play. More than likely next week, I'll probably have it up. So after the show, if you want to watch me go play World of Warcraft, which no one does, but you can, I'll probably start doing that on Thursdays as well. So.
Yeah, worst case, you could always do the ghetto streaming using Raptor or something else that just takes your full screen and dumps it right over there.
Yeah, I can't do that. Can't bring myself to do that.
It's low impact.
It's got to be professional.
All right. and obviously, we've got the Tool to Play V4 Armageddon in progress.
Yeah. Talked to a lot of the editors and whatnot last week. They seem to be pretty happy with everything they saw. And we're just going to keep pushing forward. Hopefully, like I said, a month or two, I can get something out there. It'll be in a very low impact format in the sense that I'm not going to have all the features or anything there. I just want to get it out, get off the old platform, have something up there that's mobile ready, and we'll just build off that and go from there. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that.
Very nice. All right, well, I guess on that, why don't we jump on over into what we're playing? Joel, Rock Albert, what have you been playing this week?
Well, this week I've been sick pretty much all week. I've got some fucking hay fever shit going on. Blows. So I haven't actually played any games. In fact, I think I played a little bit of WoW on Tuesday. But other than that, I've kind of been MIA. I didn't even play Cities or anything. It kind of sucks. So this week for me, not a lot to report on. Just haven't had the time. But what I'm assuming, even if you were sick or anything was happening in your life, you would just say Destiny anyway. I mean, is it even worth turning over to you? I feel like it's...
Yeah, this week it was all Destiny once again. But, you asked last week, why do you keep playing? Don't you have everything? Well, there have been a couple things that are still holdouts between my 332s. Like, granted, I have 3 Galahorns, I have 3 Icebergs, I have 3 of a lot of stuff. But I had 0 Fatebringers until this week. And after running VOG hard 1,000,000 times, I finally got a Fatebringer this week. So once the expansion comes out, that's all of a sudden going to be probably the most potent weapon in the expansion at that point. Awesome. Yes. So awesome. Upgrade that bad boy to 365 and call it a day.
You do realize that you play Destiny like you played WoW back in the day, right? Like you realize you're actually in the same place you were. It's just a different title. I just want to point that out to you.
I'm not feeling that.
Okay.
I'm feeling that because I'm on a console and it's a shooter, I feel like I'm better than the MMO person.
You're playing an MMO.
I'm better than the MMORPG person.
Wow.
That's what I feel.
You're not role playing as a wizard when you play. You're not a warlock or whatever stupid shit they've named him. Again.
Although he's called a warlock, he's certainly not magical. He does not have a void walker with him.
He's not magical. Whoa.
All right. He's pretty magical.
Space magic on a regular basis.
He is magical, but he does not have an imp. He does not have a succubus.
So he has to have a pet then for it to be lame. Is that
for it to be dorky? Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Now, granted, I hope they never put out pets for Destiny.
I can't wait. I'm really hoping. Companions in the next expansion. My Little Pony add-on.
Yes. I I really like the game. And the fact that it's a shooter, I feel like is more skilled. Like, I feel like when I play Destiny and I raid, I am constantly doing stuff versus I remember raiding back in the WoW days and not like when I was an early raider, like when I was like the high DPS of the fucking raid team. And I just remember like 4, 4, 9, 7, 1, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4.
Well, yes,
4,
but then
9,
then
7.
how would that differ from shoot?
Because
so you've given up 6 buttons for 1.
Because I didn't even have to move in those days. It was
Why
like
didn't you move? That's why you're terrible.
I didn't need to. Now
Fire
I
is
need to move.
continuously falling from the sky in that game, and you're telling me you weren't moving this whole fucking time?
I get the call outs. Up.
The weak link
Move left.
has
move
been
left.
shown.
I don't know. I just think that Destiny requires a lot more skill.
All right, fair enough. I stopped just so for the record. I stopped playing Destiny because I felt like it required no skill and was completely boring.
Well, that's only because you didn't play enough to level up. You were to me from the outside observer. It's more like you
I
couldn't handle it and quit.
VO'd. I heroic the first instance. The second instance was lame, so I stopped playing.
I don't know. I can do the second one in hard mode in 25 minutes.
Right.
Or less.
Right. That would be proving the point. It's
No.
boring. It's 25
No,
minutes.
it's not though. It's 25 minutes of fun. And then I switch to my next guy and I do it again. And I switch to my next guy and I do it again.
Next story. We got to keep going. 7:16. Time to move on.
All right. Well, before we move on to new releases, I actually have a question for the listeners out there. So this is going to require some feedback. So now that the show is Thursday of the week, I don't know whether for new releases I should be covering, because previously we covered the releases that were coming in the upcoming week, because the weeks start on Tuesdays for new releases. They go Tuesday through the following Monday. So when we do the show on Thursdays, would you rather us talk about the releases that come out this week that just came out, and this is like they came out 2 days ago and they're in progress now? Or do you want us to talk about the releases that are upcoming on the following Tuesday? So I have this week it worked out fine because there were no major new releases anyway. Next week is going to be different depending on how we play this out. But let us know if you'd want to hear about what just came out, or which something we may actually be able to talk to, or something that is coming out, and we'll kind of give you some advance warning of that. So
What would your preference be? And I'm asking you specifically.
I don't know. I kind of like to talk about things that are coming out. That's always what we've done, because we would do the shows on Mondays and the new releases would be coming the next day. So people would have some warning. I guess if this show ended up where the audio version did come out on Mondays, then now the podcast people would get the same benefit that the live viewers always had if we talked about the upcoming new releases.
I like the idea of upcoming too, just because I feel like with the news cycles of gaming and news cycles in general on the internet, 2 days is a long period of time. So if something comes out on a Tuesday, everyone's already read reviews and knows what they're talking.
They already got it, or
they're up to date by Thursday.
They already downloaded it, finished it, or downloaded and hate it.
Hated it, right?
Yeah.
People's
right,
opinions are pretty fast. So
All right, so that'll be our de facto choice. Will be the upcoming week, unless we have overwhelming arguments against that. And Sarcasmo saying upcoming, and Sarcasmo's vote counts for 10. Sorry, it's just how it is. Pro fist bump. Thanks, Sarcasmo. All right, so I guess we're skipping the new releases since there's none. And on that, Jay, why don't we hop on over into gaming news? First story.
haven't talked about Nintendo in a while, and now we're gonna. Nintendo rides, yes, rides, like you get on them and you ride them, are coming to a Universal theme park near you. So over the years, as everyone knows, Nintendo has crafted this diverse roster of all these different characters that everyone loves. They're colorful, they're happy, they're high-five yourself awesome. So inevitably, some fans have wondered whether a Disney-style theme park could be built around them. I say they could. And I think I'm right. Well, no, wonder no more. Nintendo has finally announced today that they are teaming up with Universal to build new rides for some of its theme parks. So this is kind of interesting. I don't know if it's going to be a Nintendo theme park, but ultimately, I guess a couple of them will be.
It could be like that Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
Yeah, like a little side dealio. It's staying like they're staying a little tight-lipped about the details, of course, but they say to expect spectacular, dedicated experiences, quote unquote, based on Nintendo games, characters, and worlds that you love. The move is another sign that Nintendo is finally becoming less protective over their homegrown video game franchise. The company is already working with DNA to develop mobile games, as everyone knows. And last month, the Wall Street Journal reported that Legend of Zelda, the TV show, was in the works, which, by the way, would have been fucking awesome. The rumor was later partly shot down by Iwata, but it still signals that Nintendo's willingness is to finally work with others. So that's cool because they are so. And I'm wondering if this is part of the decline in sales and things like that. That they finally realize they have a great brand and they might as well use it and branch out. So. After all, those sorts of initiatives could help Nintendo to capture the imagination and support of a whole new generations of gamers, which I think is the point of doing that. Something that's becoming increasingly important given the lackluster sales of the Wii U. So I think this is an amazing thing to do. The brand is sort of held within our generation right now. Like, we know Nintendo. But I don't think anyone, 12-year-old, 10-year-old really knows Nintendo now outside of the Wii U or the Game Boy. And if they don't have that, they don't have that sort of market penetration that they used to. So I think it's an amazing thing to do.
I think it's a necessity for them.
Yeah.
Like when we were kids growing up, everybody, you had your Nintendo friends, you had your Sega friends, or you had friends that had both. And everybody knew the Nintendo properties. And as we've seen this decline after the Wii with the Wii U, the current generation of small children that missed out on the Wii now are not getting that in-your-face thing with having a Wii U in their house because, there's like 20 Wii U sold and you and Hit own 2 of them. It just doesn't, it's not that same market penetration of the 80 billion Wiis or back in the day, the Nintendo Entertainment System. It was the only game in town. So I think if they want their hot commodity properties, their big characters, your Marios, your Links, you name it, in order for them to survive and succeed and for Nintendo to keep their brand up, a theme park's the perfect way because now you go there and you go to, Donkey Kong Country, Log Flume or Wilderness Ride or something. And I could spin a million games or a million rides out of Nintendo games that you could have a good time with there.
Absolutely. Yeah, totally. And really, like, you think about the childhood that you had when Nintendo was around. And you had like those movies and things were coming out. Like you had the shittiest movie of all time with Mario and stuff like that. And like they had that stuff going on back then. You had it in like cereals. You had it in all it was around back then more so than just the games. And so that sort of penetration fell off. They stopped doing those types of things. And I think maybe they're realizing that in order to be in the mindset of kids, they got to get out there and be in more mediums than just gaming itself. Like I said,
especially when people don't own your games, the only way you're going to penetrate is in other mediums.
And they have they still to this day have an amazing brand. So there's really no reason not to go after that sector. So yeah, I mean, it's really cool stuff. I assume the rides will be fun. They're rides, right? So yeah, good shit.
Good stuff. Right. Next story.
Sad news. World of Warcraft loses 3 million subscribers in a quarter. But of course, Activision is still doing fine because they have tons of other games and it doesn't really matter. Activision seems to be doing well, all things considered. It did better for the first 3 months of 2015 than anticipated. The company has raised its full year earnings expectations to $4.425 billion. And its digital revenues have climbed, this is crazy, 76% of its first quarter earnings to a record $538 million. It's awesome. However, revenues overall are down for the quarter year on year, $703 million compared to $772 million in 2014. Notable is the huge drop in World of Warcraft subscriptions. After the release of Warlords of Draenor's expansion last year, the company had more than 10 million subscribers. It ended this March 2015 with 7.1 million. But new games are picking up the slack. Of course, Hearthstone being huge, Destiny obviously is huge. Nearly $1 billion in revenues between those guys. So I don't know if this is really bad. Overall, it's good. Whether it's bad for, I guess the title of this alludes to the fact that it's bad for World of Warcraft.
Bad for World of Warcraft, good for Activision.
The problem with these numbers, and this happens every time that these come out in a quarter, is so World of Warcraft was 7.5 million before Warlords of Draenor. Draenor came out, they gained 3 million plus for Draenor. Now you're at the part of the expansion where there is no content. The next release is not coming for another month. You'll see this go up again by another 2 million. I saw this as news like everywhere. This is like the state of the game and how it's been for the last 5 years. It literally means nothing.
I'd have to double check that pre-Draenor number, but
what do you mean? The Draenor?
Yeah, I thought it was more like 8 million before, then went up to 10, and now it's down to 7, which would still be a net loss of $1 million.
Yeah, and that could be the case too. The point being, though, whenever there's a content lull, things drop dramatically in MMOs. If you're not releasing content, no one plays them. I would even say Destiny's probably the same way, although they don't show subscription numbers because there aren't any, which I always think is an unfair comparison to a game like World of Warcraft because other games don't have to adhere to this.
Well, not really, because Destiny's not making you pay them over and over and over, month after month after month. You want to charge someone month after month after month, then you answer to your fucking subscriber number month after month after month.
There's a problem with what you're saying, and I will tell you exactly what that is.
Oh, go right ahead, Jay.
So Warcraft currently, so they're talking about the loss of subscriptions. If you actually read the article as opposed to just using the headline, World of Warcraft is making more money than it ever has with the loss of 3 million. The reason is because now they have ad values to tons of their products. So if you want to buy a pony or you want to buy a horse or whatever, they're selling more of those than they ever have since the game began. And so now they're making more money off the value ads than they are subscription based. And if you've looked at the last month, what they've done, which I think is brilliant, because they know they're going to hemorrhage more players. I think that's a fact. I think we all agree it's 10 years plus old game. It's extremely old. But what they're doing is they're now allowing you to buy gold with real money, as well as take gold that you've earned in the game and turn that into a subscription. So paid subscriptions don't get counted if that person has bought their subscription with gold, because it's now just a subscription that's based on your gameplay, not based on actual value that you've put in. So they don't get money from that. So they're really changing. The good news is, yes, they're going to lose subscribers. I think it's going to get worse than this before it gets better. I think you're going to see it probably go down into the 5 millions. But if you're a person that's investing in World of Warcraft and you're a part of Activision, it's a net gain overall. They've lost subscribers, and yet they've made almost 10% more to date than they have in the last quarter. So, I mean, as a performance, they're doing phenomenal.
I still think you're spinning this in a weird way. I still think it's bad news. Whenever you lose millions of subscribers, it's bad news, regardless. I don't care how much money you're making.
But you just said it's based. If you're a person that's investing in it, you're beholden to the amount of money. They're making more money, more money than they ever have. And if they continue to bring out value adds to people that they're willing to play, then they can offset any loss in people. With just more money. And ultimately, that's the goal, to fund.
Eventually, these value adds dry up. There's only so many horses that I'm going to buy. There's only so many pets I'm going to buy. I only need
and I think
one.
I think that's the case. I think and ultimately what I'm saying is overall, they're going to lose more subscribers. It's a 10-year-old game. I think the market's changed as well. I think MMOs are sort of a dying breed in general. But the point being is that if Blizzard continues to bring the value add there and the money goes up, which it has, and hasn't seen any. They haven't lost any revenue in World of Warcraft. Blizzard's going to continue to push money into it. And ultimately, even if it was a 2 million subscriber game, they'd be making more than any other MMO currently on the market. There is no MMO that even can break that number. So no one can even get within the 10th percentile of what World of Warcraft.
There's no doubt. You can stick up for World of Warcraft all you like, but Blizzard definitely has the system down, and with their their casual games, like the card games with Heroes of the Storm, with what's that fucking awesome shooter I played at PAX East, their new
I forget the name of it. Yeah, it's coming out.
I do too. That shit's the tits.
It's gonna be amazing.
So they have stuff coming down the pipe,
and they're diversifying, right? So that's good. I mean,
I would like to see World of Warcraft die, just so that we can get something new in its place.
So I have the stats up too. So the lowest point in Mists of Pandaria before Warlords of Draenor came out, 6.8 million. So they went from 6.8 million to 10.1, and now they're down to 7.2. So they still don't have a net loss. And this is the scenario that happens with any game like this. I mean, if content's not there, people don't play. They stop spending money, and they don't come back until there's something to play, and then they spend money again.
We'll revisit this after the next expansion, and we'll see what's.
Yeah.
All right, next story.
Oh no, I've lost my screen for my next story.
Oh, this is so fucking pro.
Yeah.
Control Shift T.
It's just sometimes in the heat of the moment.
I click things too
fast.
Jay closes his fucking shit.
Okay, Oculus Rift is going to go on sale in 2016, and the world stood up and cheered. I know.
Fuck yeah, Sea King. Fuck yeah.
The retail version of the Oculus Rift will finally be released. The first part of next year, so there's no given date, but we know it's going to be in early 2016, which is awesome. Oculus VR will finally be out. And I think this is yesterday they announced this?
Yep.
Yeah, yesterday. According to the official site, Oculus.com, the retail version will, quote, build on the presence, immersion, and comfort of the Crescent Bay prototype with improved tracking system that supports both seated and standing experiences, as well as a highly refined industrial design, which is actually what I'm most excited for, to see what the product finally looks like, and updated ergonomics for a more natural fit, end quote. Oculus VR also released images of the retail headset, which you can see on their website. The final tech specs will be revealed next week, which I can't wait to see. And this is awesome. Pre-orders will kick off later this year. So you'll be able to pre-order soonish. I have a feeling it's going to be close to Christmas when they do this. Because they would be dumb not to. But that's fucking awesome. I mean, I fear the day it comes out because I feel like it's just going to be me in this room with a fucking VR headset, like looking like,
oh, that's what it is. I told you, I wore that Crescent Bay headset, which is basically almost, I assume they bumped up some of the tech specs, which is why they haven't released them yet. But the Crescent Bay release, which is the one just prior to this, was the one that they had showing off at PAX East this year. And that thing was fucking phenomenal. And its industrial design was badass to begin with. And I've seen the pictures on their website of this new one, and it looks more sleek and consumers. It's rounded. It's got like the part that actually touches your face now has some contouring to it. It looks like it'll have some good
yeah, it looks good. I'm looking at it right now.
Good coverage.
Pretty good.
So I am so fucking psyched for this thing. Like, just what happens to your head when you're wearing this? It's an entirely different thing. Your mind, they do enough right that your mind buys into what you're seeing. It's not like I like 3D stuff, like on 3D TV and 3D movies, but you always still know that what you're seeing isn't what you're seeing. When you're in the Rift, that sounded so fucking corny, but
that's pretty
when you're in the fucking Rift, it fucking feels real.
When you're in the Rift, bro, you don't even know.
You don't even know, bro. I'm in the Rift. I'm surfing the Rift again.
So like people are gonna be like, that's like the new drug, I guess, of choice. People are gonna be like, man, you just gotta come over tonight, just get in the Rift, bro. Just hang out.
Let's get in the Rift and see what happens. Yeah.
No, I mean,
I got a bottle of wine. Let's get in the Rift. We'll loosen up the clothes.
You know that's going to happen. What happens in the Rift stays in the Rift.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, I mean, it's ultimately, I think, that I like to believe that this is spurred from all the stuff that's happening with Valve and like Steam trying to put up stuff of their own. This is good. This is awesome that we're finally getting a date. I think Steam's is going to be right around the same time. So this is going to be an interesting time to see like what they put out. I definitely think Steam has the added bonus of really being a part of Steam's network and having all those games and people on board sort of by default, whereas Facebook doesn't really have that connection.
But see, a lot of those games that are on Steam already have
tried, yeah, they've dabbled
support, or they've got it already. So
yeah, so it's gonna be awesome. I mean, it's gonna be like, we'll see what the price is, but the one thing I love about this is if they're coming around the same time, there's going to be a little bit of a price war regardless. Hopefully it brings the cost of the Oculus Rift down. I'm going to buy it anyway. It doesn't really matter.
Oh my God.
But it's great.
Come all over that thing, dude.
I will say, and I could be proven wrong, but no matter what Steam does, if these are going to be coming out relatively at the same time, I don't think anyone's going to get the Steam one.
No, exactly.
In comparison. I mean, people will buy the Steam one, that's for sure. They'll have their reasons. But the hype and the whole world of how VR came to be, this is Oculus's ownership. You know, they've been the ones that have stewarded this thing forward.
Palmer Luckey's the first guy that made VR something that people wanted since the Virtual Boy failed. So
yeah, so I'm stoked. And this is
me too. That is amazing news.
It's almost my what the fuck story because it's so awesome. It's like, what the fuck? It's gonna be great.
Nice.
On that note, hackers in Guild Wars 2, hacker. I don't know why it says hackers. Hacker. That whole sentence, yeah, stripper. He's not a stripper.
There we go.
Yeah. Anyway, hacker in Guild Wars 2 had his character stripped and banned. This is actually kind of funny. A Guild Wars 2 hacker who had been running around rampant through the game's PvP for weeks, who had been doing that. At least he was until ArenaNet finally delivered a beautiful and humiliating ban by taking control of his account. The game's character had the hacker's character stripped down into his skivvies, basically butt naked, then had him run around town, gesturing hellos to the crowd, and finally made him leap off of a bridge to his untimely death. And then, of course, after that, they banned his account. So they kind of, I guess, virtual public humiliation is, I guess, what you call it. The virtual public shaming is, of course, captured on YouTube in a video. Guild Wars 2 players can now rejoice in the serving of cold, hard justice to a dirty cheater who hacked away at the rules of the game's world versus world PvP for weeks on end. Apparently, he was able to deal ridiculously levels of high damage, teleport his character anywhere he wanted, and survive situations that would normally mean certain death for every other player. Meanwhile, the well-meaning, non-cheating players could only sit back in horror and watch and cry as they got pwned by this hacker. That kind of sucks. It really does. And honestly, hackers in general blow for gaming. So to me, this is funny. But of course, after sending the flyer or the hacker flying off of a cliff, the video shows whoever was controlling the account deleting all of the characters one by one before finally banning the account to full. While there were many who praised the admin's actions, there were, of course, criticisms like there is with anything that anyone does that's fun in the gaming world. If it's too much fun and too awesome,
it's anywhere. Like, people criticize Joss Whedon over Avengers too. Like, no matter what you do right, someone's going to complain.
So, of course, some players thought it was immature and an immature way to handle the situation, and that ArenaNet is just being sloppy with how it manages cheating in the first place. They want to see tougher anti-cheating software, which I think is fair. Whether or not this public shaming will help deter others from hacking, which I don't think it will, is yet to be seen. But for now, it's nice to see virtual justice being delivered by ArenaNet. It's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, it's, how would you do? I mean, and is it lame?
No, I think this is the awesome way to do it. And the part that bothers me is that people, exactly what you said, like, there's someone that thinks, oh, this isn't the right way to handle cheaters. You can't do that. No, this is the most over-the-top fucking way. You think you're fucking God's glory hole fucking bitch, and people are just going to keep shoving their dicks through to you. No, fuck you. We're going to fucking come over the top. We're going to fucking take over your character. We're going to make you take off all your fucking badass armor that you got for ill-earned gains. We're going to walk you through town, parade you, like, oh, look at me, I got fucking none of my badass armor on. Then we're going to take you over to a cliff and be like, oh, no, jump off that cliff. Boom, you're down. Then fucking go to your account. Up, click this guy, delete. Up, click this guy, delete. Fucking fuck you, piece of shit, cheating motherfucker. You deserve that shit. And for you whiny bitches on the internet, we're supposed to do it. No, fuck you. This is the way to do it. Shame, shame, shame. Shame shows the blame. That's what Johnny Cochran once said.
Wow. You're using a Johnny Cochran. You're gonna wrap it all up with a Cochran reference. All right. I just want to make sure that just happened.
Oh, yes. Wow.
Well, I will say, so I'll say to that, I agree with you. I think it's fine. The shaming is fine. My only thing is, I don't think it deters anything. Like, I don't think this is going to make anyone...
I think it
does. Who gives a shit? I got to say, if I'm the guy, and first of all, I don't have control over my character anyway. So I don't even know that I'm being shamed. How does the guy know he's being shamed? Shame is only
on the internet after he's
later. After the fact, he's like, "Oh, I got shamed."
He's moving around his character. All of a sudden, he loses control, and then later he sees this on the internet. No, imagine if someone went through and deleted your World of Warcraft guys.
I'm saying if I was in the context, if I was banned,
imagine that.
I am. But you're taking it out of context. I am not cheating. If I was cheating and this happened to me, I honestly wouldn't give a fuck. It would not bother me because I got caught. All right. I guess there's that. I'm going to open up another account and then do this again. So prepare to take over my account in the next 2 weeks because this means nothing to me. No, I mean, really,
like, cheater, you spent a lot of time you spent 10 years investing in this stupid shit. So if I guarantee you,
this is a 2-year-old game. Not even. It's a year and a half. Like, who gives a shit?
But I don't know.
I mean, it's funny. Like, the thing to me is it's funny. I agree with you 100%. I just don't know that it will deter gamers. Like, being shamed like that. Here's the thing about cheating. You don't have any shame already. You're cheating. You've already lost all concept of shame. You're a piece of shit and you know it. And you're like, I'm a piece of shit. I like to fuck around with people because I don't give a fuck about their environment. I only care about having fun in my environment. And then you shame them. It's like, I fucked you for the last year and a half anyway. I don't really care. And more than likely, they're just going to open up another account and do it again. The only way to really ban gamers is to literally have awesome anti-cheat methods. And that's why I am kind of on the side of the guys that gave him criticism. Not that I criticize them for doing what they did. They should have. But ultimately, it will not lead to less people cheating. It won't. It's funny, But that's kind of where it stops for me. It's like, yeah, that's funny. And then people are just going to go on cheating.
I hope it does something.
I hope so too. Derek, what do you think about that story?
Jay, this story has me saying, what the fuck? And on that, we'll hop on over to the mailbag and voicemails. Altius asks, what are your thoughts on Sony skipping Gamescom this year and instead doing Paris Games Week? Their press conference at Gamescom has traditionally been almost as big as their E3 one for reveals. I think this is huge fucking news, Altius, which is why when I saw your question, I left this out of the news stories I had already picked because I promised you 6 episodes ago so that we weren't like, oh, we already talked about your question, Altius. Sorry, bro. I think this is huge news. Gamescom is an absolutely enormous show, makes E3 look tiny. And, Sony, I understand to some point, maybe you just don't want that big a show, but when people have traditionally come year after year after year, they expect you to be like the pinnacle press event of this show. To go to Paris Games Week, which until this news story came out, I never heard of.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
No idea what it was.
I don't know. I'm not sure if this is good news for Sony or bad news for Sony.
I think you got to put it in perspective. When I saw this, I don't think it's big news, and I'll tell you why. I think they don't. If you don't have a lot to say, don't go to Gamescom and then put on a press conference and then what are they going to show? And I think that's ultimately probably what happened here. Is
okay, but then that's bad news for Sony then, because that means they don't have something to say.
I think that's okay. I mean, we're in a cycle. My whole point is even E3 this year, and I said this is the first E3 I'm not going to go to in several years, and I don't care. And the reason I don't care is I really don't think there's going to be much to show me to get me stoked for. We're at the middle of a cycle right now. We're going to be probably in this cycle for the next, hopefully not 10 years this time around, hopefully only like 5 or 6. But, we're like in the middle of the cycle. There's going to be some games, sure, but there's really nothing that I'm aware of that I'm like, I have to go there and I have to see it. I have to go there in person. There's going to be an announcement that's going to be amazing. And so why waste all the time and all the, fanfare and fireworks to ultimately sit on stage and be like, yeah, we got some games and stuff. You guys got games.
I don't know.
I just don't know why they would do that.
I feel like it just reflects. So even if you don't have something, you want to come out and still show a strong presence. I feel like by backing down, it's almost like when you have a court case and you don't put the defendant on the stand. Like, people are always like, well, he didn't go on the stand. What's he hiding? You know what I mean? He's got to be. Otherwise, they would have put him on the stand. So
doing something poorly in public eye affects you poorly. Doing nothing at all just means you're not doing anything. I mean, I just don't know that I don't know that there's going to be like a backlash to not going to Gamescom. I don't think there will be. I think people are asking why, and I think it's a valid question. I just think at the end of the day, they probably don't have something to show. And maybe that is a bad thing. You're right. Or maybe it's just
look at the backlash that Nintendo got for years and years for when they backed down their E3 presence. Like, now they're coming back this year with a press event. Like, there's only so long you can do this before people start to forget about you.
Yeah, but even in Nintendo's case, to be fair to them, they really didn't have anything to show. Like, you remember that stream they put on? It was like a bunch of shitty Wii games. No one we're going to show you like 3 things from a live stream. Because why the fuck are we going to fly all the way out to LA to show you this same shit that we know is not like groundbreaking? And again, like, it could suck for Sony that they don't have these games. That may hurt them ultimately. But I think they figured, like, right now we're in the leader position. And this happens every time. You're in a leader position. You feel like, okay, we may not have the games. We have hardware sales are up. We're in the middle. We're in the top of the pack. We don't have any games to show, so let's not spend a ton of money. Let's go to Paris. We'll all eat some cheese together, as Sarcasmo said. And we'll show off like 1 or 2 games, maybe.
Yeah.
It sucks because I think ultimately they don't have anything to show, and I think that is bad, but I could see why, I guess.
I see what you're saying, too. I guess we'll have to wait till after Gamescom and see what in this fucking Paris, Paris, let's show games at the local mall in Paris or whatever it is. But I guess we'll have to wait till after the 2 of those are over and see how this affects Sony in the global market. But
it'd be cool to see, like, if Microsoft goes to Gamescom, they have this big reveal. Then that's where I think your point really has a lot more weight to it. If like Microsoft goes to Gamescom, they blow it out the fucking water. They have all of this shit to show, new IPs, new games, new accessories, whatever the fuck. That could ultimately hurt Sony because they don't have that firepower to fight back with. So, but we don't know. We'll have to find out.
We do not. But great question, Altius, and you got us arguing and discussing, which is all we can ask for. So if any of you have questions or awesome feedback like Altius, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. You can also comment in this episode's thread on the Tool to Play homepage. And sponsors. Remember, if we had sponsors and you supported them, it would help support Still Got Game. So we're looking for you guys out there. If you have something that you want to sell, we'll whore ourselves out for you, okay? That's all it takes, a little cold hard cash. So you tell us what you want to sell. We'll tell you what you're going to pay us. We'll sell it. You pay us. Boom. Done! Twitter us up. You can find everything Tool to Play related at twitter.com/Tool to Play. Everything podcast related at twitter.com/still_got_game. King of the fucking internet, god of everything that's fucking holy, at twitter.com/Derek Nolan.
You can find me at twitter.com/dudeIRock.
Facebook the fuck out of us. Facebook.com/Tool to Play. Facebook.com/Derek Nolan.
Facebook.com/dudeIRock.
We also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tool to Play. That is your place to find all of Tool to Play's video content, whether it's archived episodes of this show or the soon to return hits or a bunch of our one-off shows, or some of our archived live streaming things, or our events with Bungie that we've done. All these things end up on the Tool to Play YouTube channel. So go there, youtube.com/Tool to Play, and subscribe. Now we have the podcast, and we need you to rate and review that. So go to iTunes, give our podcast 5 stars. That's the correct number. Anything less would be uncivilized. And if you feel so inclined, just write a little something nice. Any review. These guys are gods. They're awesome. I love the show. Changed my life. Best show ever. Doesn't matter what you write, as long as you write something. So just, a little heart sign. Doesn't matter. Just 5 stars. Write something, please. Also, we have our Twitch channel. That's at twitch.tv/Tool to Play. That is where you are watching the show live now. If you're here in the live stream, it's where we do all kinds of live video content. And it is the #1 place where you can find everything Tool to Play live. So you want to come and you want to watch Hit play his fucking whatever he was doing Iron Banner last week. You want to watch me fucking do my live streaming of some fucking awesome shit. Twitch.tv/Tool to Play. So go there, follow us, or if you're so inclined, there's a little subscribe button down at the bottom there. And that is the #1 way to show your support for the show. If you really like the show and you want to kick back some money, it's not expensive. And that goes directly to us. That cuts out the middleman of whatever advertiser we're going to currently whore for. And it really is the best way to support the show. So twitch.tv/Tool to Play. Go there, follow, or if you can, subscribe. Last but not least, I want to remind each and every one of you, join us now, Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, twitch.tv/Tool to Play. And on that, Jay, why don't we wrap this amazing new night episode up? I am Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Joel Dude I Rock, Albert.
Same bat time? No. New bat time? Same bat channel?